Good day, friends. It's Soul, and welcome back to some more horrific vision commentary. This is part of a series where I take classes I pretty much never learned, gear them up with only outdoor world content and horrific visions, and then complete a 5-chest run. We're in Stormwind with what has been historically been my least favorite class in the game, the Monk, and he's going as this as a Mistweaver. He's got an item level of 437, and I try to avoid having too much mastery because mastery doesn't affect his DPS, but I was only marginally successful. I also focused on getting 3 stacks of Sunrise Technique, the Azerite trait, which makes Sunrise Kick apply a debuff that lets me deal extra damage. He's using 3 corruption pieces, a Mind Flay with an item level of 420, along with a versatility and a crit proc. His cloak level is 10, so 50% sanity resistance, and a neck level of 79. For essences, he's running Crucible, which he got himself, as well as Worldbane, Formless Void, and Ever-Rising Tide, all of which were bought with Echoes of Nyalotha. For talents, he's running Chi Wave, Celerity, Life Cycles, Tiger Tail Sweep, Diffuse Magic, Refreshing Jade Wind, and Focused Thunder. For research, he's spec'd for solo play, and has 1 point in Vision Hunter. He's armed with goulash as always, and kebabs, and, well, let the games begin. So while the actual execution, actually playing through the vision, it was, I don't know, it was a little kind of, it was kind of a mixed bag, because I have so few tricks, I'm not doing anything flashy, but preparing this tune turned out to be a lot of fun, because I had to learn, I had to learn a totally new thing about this class, and especially because I was going this as a healer, the approach was entirely different too. It's all based on Sunrise Kick, so you're gonna see me apply this. You're going to see me do smaller pulls for the most part, smaller controlled pulls where I apply Sunrise Technique to mobs, and then from there use my spin, especially if I'm fighting multiple mobs. So for example here, I believe I had my T going already, so I would use a Sunrise Kick, spin to apply some damage, tab target, and use Sunrise Kick on another target, and then from there, as I'm spinning, Sunrise Technique will hit all these other targets. So the add-on that I use for my damage tracking, or my scrolling combat text, is called Nameplate Scrolling Combat Text. You can look that up on Twitch or whatnot, and that's where you'll see like those 4.4Ks and whatnot. You'll see them quite a bit throughout this run, so just kind of keep your eye open for that. One of the dangerous enemies to deal with here actually are the footmen. These footmen are dangerous and dangerous as heck. So I would try to use my stuns or my my incapacitates to stop the repels from happening, because it's really easy for me to just vaporize myself by applying these really fast attacks, and the damage reflect, it's crazy how much damage they end up doing to me. So I think I had forgotten to get a vial. Yeah, I did in fact forget to check the vial, obviously because I'm way too excited to be here. So I double checked really quick. What do we got? We've got, I'm trying to look. Purple is the bad vial, so I'm going to be on the lookout for whatever the opposite of purple is. I just don't remember it off the top of my head, and in fact I rely on the stream a lot for them to just tell me. That's my interaction with them, you know what I mean? So so my sanity actually isn't looking all that great. I went through that pull much slower than I normally would with than my DPS or my tank characters, and so I simply have to be slow and steady and really careful, because if I do like too big of a pull, I'll die, like straight up. As a healer, I actually didn't really learn many of the healing buttons when getting into this. So here I go. I'm going in. I'm moving in. I used my T. I apply, and here, when it comes to bigger packs, of course, I'll apply Sunrise Technique to the toughest mob of them all that I happen to see. I make liberal use of Crucible whenever I can, of course. Because that is a significant damage dealer throughout this run as well. It was probably close to my top, but I believe Sunrise Kick, not the debuff, but just the actual Sunrise Kick, that I think was my hardest hitting technique throughout this run, just because I kept using the darn thing. So the idea here as a healer is to just keep popping your T, with the talents. That way you can get 3 kicks, I believe, in with a very short cooldown, and that equates to a lot of damage. And thankfully, doing this as a healer makes it so that the mobs here have, I believe, 40% less health than they would for a DPS character. So I'm going for this guy on my own. I didn't do a big pull for this one. And this is actually maybe my 4th or 5th attempt doing Stormwind. I messed up a lot here in various places. I would end up using my extra life here and there. But you see, like, I'm by focusing him down, like he didn't get a chance to do much of anything. He barely even got like a single leap off before he went down. So that felt pretty darn good. So right now I'm just trying to apply a couple more sunrises to the tougher mobs here, get them down. The smaller mobs, they're not that big of a deal, but leaving them alone for too long, the damage can really add up. And even Goulash can't do too much because ultimately I'm still just a healer. I'm only wearing leather. I'm not using mail or plate. There are far fewer protections for me. At any rate, though, I clear out all but I believe 1 pack. Yeah, there's just that pack right over there. So let's go for it. There you go. I popped the T. Sunrise 1, spin. And then I believe I'll do it again. Spin. And let's see this. And then there, all 3 kicks go out. And I just spin, 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 spin. And down they go. So that's really the approach. And it felt good having not, it's not like I discovered it or made it up or anything. It's just really like there are so few tools that a monk has that like this was pretty much it. So here we go. It's time for the area boss. I am already pretty low on sanity. I already have this thing going, but I'm gonna go for it and you know, try to get past this without having to use an orb, because I am behind. I am behind here, so I'm already feeling like a little bit of pressure here. I know that this guy's gonna go down pretty quick. He's already down to like half health. Um, and so in cases like these, I'll just pound him really hard with a bunch of sunrises to get some quick burst damage out. That's pretty much the equivalent of a burst that I have. So I get some sanity back, and while I'm here, I have a kebab as usual. Make a good habit of that, folks. And things are a little bit frantic. It looks like I have a serious face on, and my dog picture is staring at me. So here we go. Um, when fighting that particular eyeball, I think there was one time where I very nearly died because I was just using single target stuff and not just AoEing. AoEing would make the field disappear much faster, and I'll take considerably less damage. So just don't forget to do that. No matter what character you're fighting with. If you're outside, just do a single target attack. If you're inside, do a quick AOE, and all for safety. So I'm going for this elite right away because I'm still looking pretty low on juice. Very low on juice. This is actually pretty risky of me to do. But with my burst, I think I had a pretty high stack of my crucible, so I was able to get some huge damage in right away. And I'm just trying to catch up, basically. I'm at a point right now where I'm like, okay, it's okay for me to use my orb. Um, but I'm just trying to stretch out as much time as possible because you never know. I might screw up, and based on how I've been doing on this character, I'm bound to screw up at some point. So I inch up just a little bit more, knowing that there are going to be some stealth mobs a little bit ahead. I didn't find a vial yet, but it is orb time. And then, funny enough, here comes these stealth mobs. So I start fighting these guys over here. I probably should have pulled the other mobs too, just because that would save a little bit of time. Actually, I did. Sorry, I did in fact get those. It was the stealth ones that I didn't get. So I go for the informant over here. Always take him down first, but here the executioner is especially deadly. So I had to definitely keep an eye on this guy. Try to avoid doing big pulls, otherwise he would just truck my HP. I would go down very quickly, and I think I have gone down against that mob in my other attempts. So it looks like I did find a vial. Black is beautiful. That mean I try to do that to try to remember which vial to get. the last thing you want to do is, hey, I figured out what the good vial was. I forgot. Good going. So that informant goes down quick with a well placed crucible and a sunrise kick to the dome. He goes down. Sunrise is off cooldown. It's ready to go. There was a stealth mob there, but who cares? I can deal with it. The important thing is that I apply the debuff to the elite here. The tentacle does a pretty good job of helping me out. It's not a terribly strong tentacle proc, but whatever helps, right? So I did in fact take the sanity hit from that big AOE, but it wasn't a big deal. He went down. My sanity is looking pretty good so far. My HP is not. Um, did I heal myself here? Yeah, I think yeah, I saw, yeah. So I applied a couple of heals here, because that executioner, man, you really don't want to mess around with that guy. I mean, I have defenses available. I can use my life cocoon and all that. That's really all that comes to mind whenever I'm like trying to keep myself up. And there were moves that I didn't really make good use of. I didn't use chi wave as well as I should have. I wasn't using my little stun, which could have been helpful for like small attacks or small or important spells, and I end up paying the price for that later. At any rate, though, this pack goes down without too much trouble. I'm at half sanity, 2 bars left, and it's time for some Shaw. Oh baby. So I say, as usual, I save my T, or I save my cooldowns for after he does his first disappearing act, and there it is. And I'm trying to look right now. Do I pop my T? I do not pop my T yet, but I just start going to town on him, and he's already a little bit under. He's already really low on life. Can I get him down here? Yes, I do. So even before his second disappearing act, he's gone. And that really tells you like how much damage that sunrise does, along with the other techniques. Now sunrise lasts for, I believe, 12 or 15 seconds, something like that, so it lasts a fairly decent amount of time, more than enough to take down most mobs. So that's why I tend to hit one target, do a spin. The cooldown will be available thanks to Thunder Tea, and then I'll be able to hit a different target. And it does extreme damage if I just chain it on the same target numerous times. Something I didn't mention too is that I make really liberal use of the Tiger Palm and Blackout Kick combo. When you stack up 3 Tiger Palms, you get like I said, you get a stacking debuff of 3, and from there my next Blackout Kick will hit 3 times, which is also huge damage, and it also stacks with that's also something that synergizes with the sunrise technique. I probably should have said that much sooner, because pretty much all my techniques will utilize sunrise. For the most part, though, I do a lot of spinning. The spinning is the bigger thing that I do because, well, it's AOE, and because it works with Sunrise, it's arguably faster damage. Of course, when it comes to single target, it's different. Then you'll definitely see me throw a lot more Tiger Claws and Blackout Kicks and whatnot. So you see me just kind of, I'm kind of cutting through these mobs now. But I'm trying to make special care to take care of the mobs that are the most dangerous. In this case, it's the tentacle and the one that does the stun. Those can be especially dangerous. You can see my sanity is getting really low now. It's about time that I should really consider using my second orb, but not before I take these guys down, because again, I need to squeeze out as much time as I can, knowing that there might be an instance where I might be in a little bit of trouble. So here we go with orb number 2. That guy goes down easily. Thank you, Crucible. And now I only have to worry about one major mob, and then those 2 citizens. Not a big deal. Sorry, humans, you're going down pretty quick. Actually, they didn't. For some reason they didn't go down very quick. I think I was saving combo points, or not combo points. I was saving. I was in fact just trying to use Sunrise and get a 3 Blackout Kick combo. especially because there's not much I can do about anything that this guy does, no interrupts or anything like that. So I just needed to do some strong burst, and there we go. So my sanity bar is full now. I mean, it's been full. I got a refill, killed some mobs, and then one for the elite again. So it's not like I'm like behind, but the timing for me having for me taking another sanity orb, the timing was kind of thrown off. So I feel like I wasted a little bit there. As for this guy, though, I'm just kind of tearing through him. Between the tentacle, sunrise, some minor dots from Crucible, he goes down fairly easily. Sanity's back at full. One orb remains, as well as Mage Quarter, as well as Illyria. I do have one extra. I do have my extra life as well. So we're looking okay. But as always, got to be careful. You never know, especially with a character like this, as squishy as they can get. One wrong move, if I get like stunned or something like that, it's huge damage. It can possibly set me back. And the extra life might not be enough, so oh well. In the meantime, though, I can relax just a little bit. Let my palms dry up a little bit. I'm the type that gets, sweaty hands when I get nervous. And this is one of those times. All right, so one more thing. Cool. And I think we're off to the Mage Quarter. Cool. Sanity dipped to about 70-ish% or so. I'm going to have one kebab, the last one before Illyria, pretty much. Otherwise, it's not very efficient. And as a reminder, my cloak is at rank 10. So I am losing a little bit more sanity than some of my other characters. Like my shaman, I needed to be at rank 11. Some other characters I ended up were needed to be rank 11 in order to get through, which is okay. That's just kind of how it goes. This character, I'm just trying to push it a little bit and see if I can succeed at rank 10. So here we go into the Mage Quarter. I dive right in, AoE to make those darn fields get lower, go down. But I take a lot of damage while I'm sitting in those. So like you can see that my HP dipped a little bit below half, which can be pretty dangerous, obviously. So throwing a few hots on myself, whoop-de-doo. And I'll go for this guy. Hit him a little bit hard, run past those corruption tumors, and go for this guy. So my sanity is at that level where I shouldn't go for the elite yet. I'm going to go for these mobs first. Hello, hello, hello. Tentacle is helping me out, which is very welcome. Sometimes I'm able to get an interrupt by dazing these guys or disorienting these guys. Sometimes not. Look at that. I was really close, really skirting the line. Yeah, so taking extra damage here, like I said, you can get burst down really, really quick here. All right, so those mobs are gone. I still have enough juice that I can probably go for the other pack. I'm just kind of going a little bit slow. But off we go. Sanity is looking pretty low. So the intent here is to use my orb for that last guy. Oh, I'm sorry, for that elite. And then I'll be able to push from there. Unfortunately, though, I get disoriented at this point. I get hit by a void buffet and some damage, and boom, I end up using my extra life. So kind of a bummer. It does mean that I can take on the elite now, but this was really demoralizing. This one hurt. I really wasn't pleased about that one. I know that I was pushing. Unfortunately, well, mistakes, right? So I go for this guy. I had my tea available. I'll pop it, and I'm using most of my sunrise kicks just on him. There's no need for me to use it on the lesser mobs. It's not a big deal. I'm just trying to get as much damage as I can in. He's at half life. I'm losing some sanity. I'm almost gonna die again, and this might be it. But I'm barely able to get him down. Goulash will take care of the rest for me, and otherwise keep me up as these mobs keep trying to pelt away at me. Please get out of the eyeballs hole. And and so off I go to the next area. So and then there I go getting stuck. See, that's why I use smaller mounts. That's why I use smaller mounts. So I'm in the danger zone right now. I want to try and get through and try to get caught up with at least a little bit of time because I got nothing left. This is it. Well, I have one orb. I apologize. So I'm just trying to get caught up, make up for the time that I had lost, which was fairly significant. So I'm just trying to push, push, push. I get over here and then I pop. Then I pop my orb, knowing that there's a pretty good chance that something crazy could happen that would cause me to take some extra sanity damage. So I go ahead and fight the guys right in here, nice and safe. Go ahead and actually get a successful interrupt in. Well done for a change. But I take this guy down, no problem. Cool, cool, cool. And now these little guys start getting in my way. Thank you, Tentacle, for helping me out. And now it's time to take on the second elite. Let's do this. So the T goes. I'm trying to do some high single target damage. He's down to about 60 something percent. And then I get disoriented. Great. Rain of fire. Roll, roll, roll. I take 1 tick of sanity damage. Precious sanity lost. I'm not wasting my stuff on these little guys. I'm just relying on my spins for the most part. And the spins do a good job of taking out their HP. And now it's time for me to head over to Funbrick. I am at 80-ish, a little under 80% sanity. A dude to my face. And the banana trinket is what takes him out. Go banana trinket. You need to have seen that. You just saw bananas flying all over the place. You can imagine that Shaw went back to Nyalotha, the Nyalotha bar being like, dude, you won't believe what I got killed by. Was it bananas? Yeah, it was bananas. Yeah, you too? Ugh, it was nuts. Crazy. Anyway, Funbrick, let's do this. Actually, let's wait. Let's go around here. And then let's do this. This is where I'm getting like kind of antsy. I'm like, come on, every little thing is starting to get in my way now. So I kick it off with a pretty good crucible. I pop the T. I let loose as much as I can. I'm just trying to get him to phase quickly so that way he doesn't cast too many spells on me. I freaking roll right into the disorient. I get polymorphed and I take missiles. Not I'm feeling nervous here. You can see it in my face. I'm like, oh boy, I really don't want to fail at the end of this. It'd be really tragic. I do have crucible dots going. I'm sorry. I'm taking some extra sanity damage, just trying to get some more in. He goes down, 200 sanity gain back. I'm going to eat a kebab, and this is it. So I'm at a little under half sanity. I'm gonna be at roughly half sanity once I eat the kebab. But yeah, this is one of the closer calls that I've had, for sure. But off I eat. One more kebab. A little coffee for me. Calm the nerves, right? Easily. So in we go. And by the way, as usual, I take my more casual route of not using cooldown pots, no drums, nothing like that. I feel like I don't need it for these, and they would help. So there is no pride lost in using cooldown pots and drums and all that. But anyway, I go to town, I pop everything I've got. T was going. I'm trying to get all my sunrise kicks in on freaking Ilaria. Polymorph's gonna go. There's nothing that I can do about it. Here's where I make decent use of things like Chi Wave because there are so few things that I can use that it's like, okay, Chi Wave, yeah, Chi Wave, that's great. Great ability to use. Just whatever I can get. Because if I can get some extra tentacle damage in, the better. So I'm making good use of that whenever I can. Fortunately, she is down to 35% life. I'm doing a pretty good job of taking her out. Bananas nailed her for a couple of percentage points. And what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get in good sunrise kicks and Tiger Palm. I think I was saying Tiger Claw earlier. Tiger Palm and Blackout Kick combos. And there we go. Down she goes. With the sanity warning coming in. I think I gave her the bird right there. But this felt like a well-deserved win. It was kind of a roller coaster. Constantly getting damaged. This one felt good. I'm happy that I did this as a Mistweaver. Doing it as a Windwalker, it would have felt like kind of sort of doing it as a monk or just another melee DPS. So I wanted to do something a little bit different, and this was worth it. As for what I got arm guards, which gives me crits. Yay! Wonderful. I think that was like the same piece of gear. So anyway, that's it. I think my monk still needed to do Orgrimmar, and that's going to have a happy ending too. I'll have that uploaded as soon as I go through some of the other classes, and then I'll make my rounds back towards Stormwind. But in the meantime, that is it for the monk. I hope that this was helpful for you Mistweavers out there, or you for other specs where maybe you're just having a hard time. But yeah, I hope this was helpful, and please like the video if it was helpful. Yeah, great. So let's go ahead and get out of here. You guys have a good one. I'll see you for the next video, but until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.